Hi guys, welcome back to a new video. Today's video is going to be a special video due to the fact it being the 75th anniversary since VJ Day, and it being the celebration of VJ Day today, so Victory over Japan Day, when the war in the Far East came to an end and officially the entirety of the Second World War came to an end. As I will explain a little bit later, there are many different reasons why the war came to an end, not just one. It wasn't just the bombs, wasn't just one other thing or the other, many different reasons, and also we'll explain about one of my family members as well. So I really hope you enjoy. Today's video is going to be looking at a member of the 14th Army in Burma around 43 into 44. Hope you enjoy. Okay, now back to the main bit of the video. Okay, to the main bit of the video. Here we have a soldier of the 14th Army in Burma around late 43, early 44. Starting from the top going down, we have the slouch hat, commonly known and worn by Australian troops, obviously by British troops as well. This particular one is a modern example, which is a stand-in for a wartime slouch hat, but they differ very slight bits really. Sometimes the puggarees are different. You have general band puggarees or the scallop style pleated puggaree, like you can see more elaborate ones on, say, pith helmets and things like that as well. So that's the headwear. Going down, we have the Airtex bush jacket. This is of a design which has slightly scalloped pockets, button up in the front. The two breast pockets have buttons. The two lower pockets are just large, almost like mat pockets, and have no buttons on, but they have a flap. Sometimes the shirt was the bush jacket was tucked in, sometimes it wasn't, it depended really. Excuse me. Over the chest we have a bandolier for 50 rounds of .303 ammunition for the infantryman's rifle, and obviously the equipment is 37 pattern webbing. Obviously carrying in, say, one or the other Bren magazines for your section Bren gun, Mills bombs, etc. But all dependent on theatre, especially for the Far East. Certain items were different to, say, using the European theatre. You also be carrying anti-malaria tablets and things like that, and salt tablets and that sort of nature. The rifle carried for this gentleman is the rifle number 1 Mark III Star. So the SMLE, or some people know it as. Which, even by this point in the war, was still being widely used in the Far East theatre. Even right up to the end of the war, was still, we'll say, the most prominent rifle used by Commonwealth forces right up to the end of the war in the Far East. So as I said, the standard 37 pattern weapon. If I just turn around to the side, make sure this is nice and tight at the bottom, sorry, isn't it? We can see the side of the pouch. And we see the bayonet, which is the 1907 pattern sword bayonet. There was the India pattern as well, which was slightly shorter, but for this case it is the long pattern of bayonet. We can also see the sleeve of the bush jacket, which is a Lance Corporal, and you can see the pop buttons here, the poppers, which are used for either divisional or brigade insignia. So that's there. Just spin it around to the back. Make sure this is tight. Again, sorry. We see the cross straps of the 37 pattern weapon, and we see the gas cape. It was generally different things were used at different times, from ponchos, and later on in the war the monsoon poncho, or monsoon cape I should say. Gas capes were obviously very good waterproof garments, as well as their normal purpose because they had been treated with an anti-gas ointment. But generally they were very good waterproof items. You see them used a lot in Western Europe during sort of raining periods. So in the monsoon season, in the raining season, especially in the Far East, these are very useful. Or anything that's waterproof really is very useful. And that's taped with its tapes to the belt itself. Below that we have the entrenching tool and cover, or handle and cover. And spin it around to the side here. Tight again. So if we make it tight, move the sleeve out of the way. We have the canteen. Carrying about, I think it's one quart of water or a quart and a half, I can't remember exactly. Water is very essential within the jungle. You lose incredible amounts of water you're sweating it, the humidity is of a high rate, and you need to keep bringing water on board to survive in that sort of environment. So, as I said in the intro, I'll just send it back round to the front. As I said in the intro, this is all due to it being VJ Day today. When this will be uploaded, it will be very, very late on VJ Day, just because of how I've been able to get stuff out today. It's been a very, very busy day today. I have personal family connections to the Far East. My great uncle was captured at the fall of Singapore, and spent the rest of the war in captivity under the Japanese and suffered cruel treatment from them. So even when the war ended, they were ordered to march around the parade square singing, and if they weren't singing, they would be beaten. This was after the war had ended. So even then, even in defeat, the Japanese were still trying to commit pain on the Japanese guards were trying to commit pain on their captees. Yeah, the war in the Far East was a brutal and horrific one. The reasons why it came to an end are many. It could have, from the invasion of the Northern Islands by the Russians, invasion of Manchuria by the Russians, the drop in the atomic bombs, etc. These all accumulated into one thing at the end of the day: the defeat of Japan, and that is the 15th of August, 1945, 75 years today. Thank you, and I'll catch you on the intro out. So I really, really hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you were a bit interested by the information I gave at the end as well. It brings a lot of emotion, really, in a way, and thinking of what specifically my family members did and happened to them during the war, especially in the Far East. I have a great-grandfather who saw the horrors of Belsen, and then I have a great-uncle who sees the horrors of Japanese prisoner of war camp. So it's a horrific war, the Second World War, and this is a day to remember. Hope you really enjoyed, and I hope you hopefully learned something. I know I did, but so really hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment,
Mandalay by Rudyard
Kipling.
Kipling.
Subscription to my Facebook page down below, and I really, really hope
By
you
the old
enjoy
Moulmein
next time,
Pagoda,
when I should be doing
looking lazy at the sea,
hopefully collaboration.
there's a
with
Burma
everyone
girl
can.
a setting,
So I really hope you
and I know she
join
thinks
for that
of
one.
me.
Okay, thank you.
For the
very
wind
much.
is in the
Bye for now.
palm trees, and the temple bells, they say, "Come you back, you British soldier. Come you back to Mandalay. Come you back to Mandalay, where the old flotilla lay. Can't you hear their paddles chunking from Rangoon to Mandalay? On the road to Mandalay, where the flying fishes play. And the dawn comes up like thunder out of China, across the bay." Her petticoat was yellow, and her little cap was green, and her name was Soupy Your Lad, just the same as Thebor's queen. And I seed her first a smoking of a whacking white cheroot, and a wasting Christian kisses on an heathen idol's foot. Blooming idol made of mud, what they called the Great Gourd Bud. Plucky lot she cared for idols when I kissed her where she stood. On the road to Mandalay, where the flying fishes play. And the dawn comes up like thunder out of China, across the bay. When the mist was on the rice fields and the sun was dropping low, she'd get her little banjo and she'd sing Koolalolo, with her arm upon my shoulder and her cheek against my cheek. We used to watch the steamers and the Hathis pulling teak, elephants are pulling teak, in the sludgy, scudgy creek, where the silence hung that heavy, he was half afraid to speak. On the road to Mandalay, where the flying fishes play, and the dawn comes up like thunder out of China, across the bay. But that's all shoved behind me, long ago and far away. And there ain't no buses running from Bank to Mandalay. And I'm learning here in London what the 10-year soldier tells. If you've heard the Easter calling, you won't never eat naught else. No, you won't eat nothing else but them spicy garlic smells and the sunshine and the palm trees and the tinkly temple bells on the road to Mandalay, where the flying fishes play. And the dawn comes up like thunder out of China, across the bay. I'm sick of wasting leather on these gritty paving stones, and the blasted English drizzle wakes the fever in my bones. Though I walks with 50 housemates out of Chelsea to the Strand, and they talks a lot of loving, but what do they understand? Beefy face and grubby, and Lord, what do they understand? I've a neater, sweeter maiden in a cleaner, greener land, on the road to Mandalay, where the flying fishes play, and the dawn comes up like thunder out of China, across the bay. Ship me somewhere east of Suez, where the best is like the worst, where there are no 10 commandments and a man can raise a thirst. For the temple bells are calling, and it's there that I would be, by the old Moulmein Pagoda, looking lazy at the sea, on the road to Mandalay, where the old flotilla lay, with us sick beneath the awnings when we went to Mandalay, on the road to Mandalay, where the flying fishes play. And the dawn comes up like thunder out of China, across the bay.